Hi class, Dr. Bevilacqua here. I wanted to do a screencast on comparing the values of delta H and delta E. We're going to start out with the simple relationship that delta E is equal to the sum of Q and W, the flow of heat into the system and work done on the system. We can consider two different paths, the ith path and the jth path, where for each path I put the subscripts on Q and W, as well as temporarily on delta E. However, delta E sub I is equal to delta E sub j because delta E is a state function. Because that's true, no subscript is needed on delta E. It's true for every path. So we can go back up to these relationships and simply set them equal to delta E without a subscript. Because that's true, we can then set these two equations equal to each other, and so we end up with the sum of Q and W for the ith path is equal to their sum for the jth path. Let's make this more concrete by considering paths that have more physical meaning, such as a constant volume path. This is an experiment that would be done in a bomb calorimeter. It has very thick steel walls, and so the volume can't change. Therefore, we use the subscript V on Q and W. Again, no subscript on E because it's a state function. We know that W is equal to minus P delta V, but because the volume's constant and doesn't change, delta V is 0, so W sub V is 0, and so delta E will simply be equal to the first term, Q sub V. We can now move on and consider a constant pressure path in this case. The real experiment here would be an open flask, in which the constant pressure comes from the constant pressure of the atmosphere. In State College, typically around 1 atmosphere. We then go, and in the same way that we had an equation for delta E as the sum of Q and W with subscripts V, we have a term here with subscript. We have an equation here with a subscript P on Q and W. We know that those are equal to delta H and minus P delta V. We'll come back to that. So we can set delta E equal from the two paths. So we have Q sub V is equal to Q sub P plus W sub P. We can then ask the simple question, does Q sub V equal Q sub P? And we see that the answer is, it depends. It depends on the W sub P piece, or the minus P delta V term. Because Q sub V in general will not equal Q sub P, Q is not a state function. That is, Q depends on whether the experiment is done at constant volume or constant pressure. Let's continue this and go ahead and look at Q sub V and Q sub P in terms of delta E and delta H. Even though Q is not a state function, Q sub V is a state function, delta E, and Q sub P is a state function, delta H. So that leaves us with the very familiar equation that delta H equals delta E plus P delta V. I'd now like to go through several examples on types of problems that you might see. The first is where we can either measure delta H, say from a coffee cup calorimeter, because again delta H is at constant pressure in an open system. In this case, delta H is Q of the system. It's equal to minus the heat of the surroundings, which can be determined from minus M, the specific heat of the calorimeter, delta T. We can also get delta H rather than measuring it from tables of delta H0 formation using the familiar relationship that delta H of the reaction is equal to the sum of delta H0 formation of the products minus the sum of delta H0 formation of the reactants. Once we have delta H, we can get the delta E part from using the relationship that it's equal to delta H, which we now know, minus P delta V. And in the next few slides, I'll go through how to get the minus P delta V piece. The other way you'll see the problem is that delta E is determined experimentally, let's say from the bomb calorimeter. In this case, we can calculate delta H from the familiar relationship that delta H equals delta E plus P delta V. But we need to remember that delta H is equal to Q sub P, delta E is equal to Q sub V, and that the plus P delta V is equal to minus W sub P. This is important because W sub P in general is not equal to 0. In other words, even though we measure delta E from bomb calorimeter and work in the bomb calorimeter is 0, the work at constant pressure is not 0. This is the work that would have been done if the experiment had been done in the flask. This is a really key point and probably merits watching this particular part of this screencast a few times. Now that we've gone through this, let's go ahead and consider several different ways of getting the W sub P piece of the equations. In general, W sub P is equal to minus P delta V, and this delta V is a change in the volume of the system, and it comes from gases. And the reason that it does is that gases have a much bigger volume than liquids or solids. So for example, if the volume of the liquid is, let's say, 1 mil, the volume of the solid is typically very close, also about 1 milliliter, but the volume of the gas is about 1,000 times bigger. So changing from a liquid to a solid, or one liquid to another liquid, changes the volume by a negligible amount, but generating gases changes the volume by a significant amount, and that's why all of the work at constant pressure we consider gases. So there's two different ways in which we can get the W sub P term. One is from a chemical reaction. Again, W sub P is a constant pressure, and so in a chemical reaction we're going to let the temperature stay constant, or we're going to hold the temperature constant, and N will change. Because these are gases, we can go ahead and use the ideal gas equation, and we'll have both the final state of the system, and P does not have a subscript on it because it's constant. Likewise, T does not have a subscript on it because it's constant. We can also consider the initial state of the system, and then go ahead and subtract these two equations, factor out P, factor out RT, to leave us with the familiar form that P delta V is equal to delta N sub G times RT for a chemical reaction. We can also heat or cool a gas. This is likewise done at constant pressure for W sub P. Because we're heating or cooling a gas, we're not changing the number of moles of gas, but we're changing the temperature. We can write down the final and the initial states, the equations for those. We can go ahead and subtract them. And here we're left with P delta V is equal to NR delta T. So those are the two forms of the equation that we'll use. Just be familiar with what you need and go ahead and plug them in order to get your W sub P term. Thanks for listening.